Welcome to Impact Hour. If you're here, then you are watching this live or you are going through the 5-day Sell Your Expertise challenge to help you enroll your next client or even your first client as a coach, a solopreneur, a consultant, or a service provider. Listen, we're going deep today. Okay, this isn't just a surface level, hey, let me give you a 1,000-foot view on how to do this. We're going to go deep into a training on how to optimize your social media profile to actually sell for you. So we're not just talking about having a social media page with like pictures of your dog, cat, things like that. We're talking about creating a page that represents your brand, that represents what makes you different, your story, the result that you get for your clients and the people that you want to serve as a business owner, an entrepreneur, a coach. And really, all three of those things are the same thing. So today, we're specifically going to talk about how to choose the best social media profile for you. We're going to talk about how to optimize that profile, and this is going to be the meat and potatoes. We're going to dive into 3 specific examples of social media profiles, specifically on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is the #1 platform that I personally use because that's where my ideal client lives. And I know if you're a coach consultant, then a lot of your ideal clients might be living there too. So we're going to use LinkedIn because of its growing popularity over the last 6 to 12 months specifically. And I'm going to show you an example of a great social media profile, a very lackluster one. And I'll explain why I believe that is the case, as well as a profile that is almost there, but just by tweaking a few things, you can get even more extraordinary results. So we're coming at you today with a lot. And I'm also going to talk to you at the very end about a content strategy to really boost the results that you're seeing from your social media page so that you can begin enrolling clients and having these conversations immediately. So the first thing that I'd recommend you do, if you don't already have a copy of Sell Your Expertise, the playbook, then go to my LinkedIn profile, or if you're watching this live on YouTube, go to the description, download your copy of the Sell Your Expertise playbook. This is literally the 5-day playbook that will guide you through the entire process to building a successful coaching or service provider business, to literally sell your expertise. And by following what's in this playbook, you'll be able to do that within the first 5 days of you taking the challenge. So be sure to go grab a copy of that. You still have time to do so, because today we're specifically focusing on optimizing your social media profile, which, let me grab the page here. That page is going to be page 13. So optimizing your profile, flip to that page because we're going to be diving in. If you don't have the playbook for whatever reason, just take really great notes, have a pen, have a paper. The first question that you're probably wondering is, Brandon, where do I spend my time on social media? What's the best platform for me? And I've already created in-depth videos about how to choose the social media platform that works best for you and your business. So there's actually a QR code in the playbook that you can scan with your phone, and you'll literally be brought right to that video, which will go deep into depth. But I remember when I first started my coaching journey in 2019, I was on every platform, and I still am on every platform, but I'm only active on one specific platform, 2 at most nowadays. And I'll explain what those are. But I was on Facebook, I was on Instagram, I was on LinkedIn, I was on YouTube, and I was trying to juggle and manage all these different social profiles. But by spending your time on all these different profiles, you're effectively slimming down the results that you can get, because by being everywhere, you are effectively nowhere. And that's because you're creating content for each platform. You are using your most valuable resource of all, which is time. And if you're a solopreneur, then you already understand that time, you can't get it back, right? We've got to maximize time so that you can get the best results possible. So it quite simply comes down to this. Once I honed in on one social media platform and learned the platform and went all in on it, created content for it, optimized it like we're talking about in this video, that's when the results in my coaching business really exploded. And if you're following along the 5-day challenge, then you know yesterday we talked about how to package your signature offer. And I believe that before you can even have a content strategy on social media, you need to know what your signature offer, and more importantly, the result that you're getting for people. You need to know what that result is. Otherwise, what are you creating content about? You're just talking about your life. You're maybe telling your story. But again, if it doesn't lead anywhere, which is your signature system, product or service that you help people with, your ideal client with, then you're wasting your time on social media. You need to have your signature system on lock. So if you haven't already done that, be sure to do that. Now, the easiest way to choose your ideal platform is asking yourself, where does my ideal client spend their time? It's that simple. The person that you want to work with, the client that you want to serve with your product, service, coaching package, signature offer, what social media platform are they on? If they're the younger generation, then they might be hanging out on Instagram. That might be the platform for you. If it's the older generation, then they're probably on Facebook, and that's the platform that you should choose to spend all of your time on. If it is videotainment, where a lot of your content is video content and you love the YouTube vibe, then YouTube might be the platform. That's the one that I started with because YouTube was instrumental to me when I was going through my own personal growth journey when I was 21 years old. So I thought to myself, well, I know that the person that I want to attract, which is the older version of myself, I know that they're on YouTube, so I might as well go on YouTube. And that's where I spent the first year and a half of my business journey. And that's where I'm still heavily invested. And if your ideal client is a professional of any sorts, and really this is expanding even more every single day. There are so many people now on LinkedIn in practically every industry, every profession. I can almost guarantee that your ideal client is probably on LinkedIn. And that's what we're going to be using for today's example, because I absolutely love LinkedIn and it's an incredible place to have conversations with your ideal client. That's the one thing about YouTube that didn't hurt me at the beginning, because I used other methods in order to add people to my list and have conversations through email. But LinkedIn's great because you can have conversations right on the platform. YouTube, you cannot do that. So where is your ideal client hanging out, and what social media profile are you going to optimize? Which platform makes the most sense for you? It might be Twitter, it might be TikTok, it might be Twitch. Whatever your industry is and where your ideal client is, where will you be spending your time? It's very important for you to know that. I highly recommend you write that down and spend all of your time on that platform. The second thing I want you to understand is you might be asking why. Why is it important to optimize a social media platform? Brandon, I've got a great product. I've got a great service. Why does social media matter? Is this even a waste of time for me? And let me ask you a question. When you think about Tesla, what is the image that pops into your mind? What's the emotion that floods your body when you think about Tesla? And I guess it might not be strong enough to flood your body unless you maybe own a Tesla or you're very passionate about Tesla. But what's the emotion that you can recognize when you think about the brand? It might be innovative. It might be cool. It might be like a hip emotion, right? Kind of a weird word or emotion to use, but I think you get my point. Okay, so let me ask you this. When you think of Apple, what words come to mind? What emotions come to mind? You might think about simple, clean, high quality, right? Maybe innovative as well. You have certain emotions that come to mind. You might even have certain people that come to mind, right? Tim Cook, probably Steve Jobs was the first person to come to your mind, depending on how old you are. And if you think about Nike, what emotions come to mind, right? The whole point of what I'm doing here is when people think about you, what emotions come to mind? And if you're a new coach, a new business, a new solopreneur or service provider, then people don't know who you are. And you have to expand your horizons. You've got to put yourself out there. You have to garner attention. And optimizing your social media profile is how you garner that attention amongst your ideal clients. Because tomorrow's day 5 of the Sell Your Expertise Challenge, where we're finally talking about how to actually sell your signature offer. And a big part of that is having conversations with your ideal client, asking them what their goals are, asking them what their challenges are, telling them how you can support them, showing them your signature offer, your program. And there's a lot of nuances in between that. But what's the first thing that someone's going to do when you send them a message on a social media platform? Before they respond, they're immediately going to go to your page and they're going to look at your social media profile. And if your social media profile doesn't convey a clear message of what it is you do, then they're going to leave and they're not going to respond to your message. Your profile is really your personal story. It serves several purposes. It tells your story and it shows your client the result that you can get for them. And it does that through content. It does that through testimonials. It does that through case studies of how you've helped other people. And it does so through you documenting your entire journey on the social media platform. So my question for you, and this is actually in your workbook, what is the vibe or the feeling or the emotion that you want your ideal client to have when they visit your social media profile? Because I'm about to show you 3 profiles specifically. 2 of them are incredible. And the third one, while I'm sure it's a great person, I don't know the person personally. While I'm sure they're a great person, their social media profile is not optimized. So I want you to keep in your mind as I share my screen with you, I want you to keep in mind the emotions that you feel as I show you these different profiles. So let's talk about the first profile that we have here. And what I'm going to do actually is switch over to this so I can actually see it with you here. Okay, perfect. I don't usually share my screen on StreamYard, so just bear with me. So this is the first profile we've got here. Okay, and this is out of the 3 profiles I'm going to show you, this is the strong profile. And there's a lot of these profiles on LinkedIn. Okay, and I'm going to show you what makes a strong profile. And by the end of this, you're going to know how to create a specific vibe. You're going to know the little individual things on your profile that you can tweak to get better results. And you're going to have an actionable plan for something that you can do right after this training, which my challenge for you is to optimize your profile today. It'll take you an hour, maybe 2 hours. Do it today. If you don't do it today, you'll never get around to it. So the first person here, his name is Di Manuel. And if you look on his profile, I just want you to just look at the first like 3/4. Okay. What do you notice? What's the vibe that you get from looking at this profile? It's clean. When you look at Di's profile picture, look at this. Look how happy he looks. He's emitting energy, right? He's emitting kindness. He's emitting energy. He's in great shape, right? And then you look at his banner image here, and it says Di Manuel, the Dad Body Project. So just by looking at his profile picture and looking at his banner, you already have a really good idea of what this man does and how he can help you, right? So now let's scroll down a little bit. Let's look at his name. And if you look here, there's even like a little microphone here. So let's click that. And he shares his name pronunciation, right? Because I guess he does have an interesting name when it comes to pronunciation. So Di Manuel. And then you look at this very, very important piece here. And this is the same on LinkedIn. This is on YouTube. This is on Instagram. This is on Facebook. This is your bio sentence. All right. This is your biography sentence. This is the sentence that tells people what they can expect from your profile and what they can expect when they work with you. And really, I want you to think of this tagline here as the result that you're going to get for your ideal clients. So we already know just by looking at Di's banner photo here, his ideal client is dads, right? That's simple. And then you read it. Coach, mentor, friend, right? Kindness is being displayed here. Helping you to get out of your own way to start engineering the life that you want. So he's helping dads get out of their own way, right? Change their story, get rid of the limiting beliefs that because they're dads, they can't be in amazing shape, and engineer the life that they do want to live. And because we're on LinkedIn, Di has activated a mode on LinkedIn called Creator Mode. And when you activate Creator Mode, it's open to anybody. Anyone can do this. You get to list specific hashtags on your profile that give a little bit of explanation of what you talk about when it comes to your content. So Di talks about motivation, life coaching, mental health, whole life fitness, and living your best life. And then you scroll down a bit, and we have the next most important piece of your profile. Because when you're sending your ideal client a message, they are going to immediately do what? They're going to be going to your profile, and they're going to be checking you out there. So let's go back to Di's profile here. And let's go to the About section. But actually, before I do what I just did here, I'm going to reload this page because I want you to notice something very specific about Di's page here. When you look at his About section, it says, are you a parent who is a CEO, a founder, or a business owner who's achieved professional success, but you're still struggling to manage your physical, mental, and emotional health along with well-being. Does this sound familiar? Now, in order for us to see more, we literally have to go over here and click see more. Now, before we do that, I want you to recognize what Dai did here in the first few lines. He asked several questions, very specific questions. Have you achieved professional success, but you're still struggling to manage your mental, emotional, and physical health? If someone says, I wonder where he's going with this, they're going to click see more. You want the first few lines of your about section to be something that's enticing, something that is called a hook, something that hooks your ideal client's attention, something that gets them to stop scrolling, something that either asks them a question, gives them a startling statistic, anything that's going to stop them in their tracks. It can be a controversial statement, anything that's going to get them to stop and actually click see more. So we did that. We clicked see more. And now Dai is giving some information. Okay. I'm not going to read all of it. You can surely pause this if you'd like to and go through it and read it, but I'm going to show you several examples. What Dai is doing and what I advise you to do in your about section is, number one, use all of the space available to you. And not just writing randomness, but use all of the space available to you to tell your story. Now, another piece of, another little tidbit here that will help you even when you're creating content is when you are writing your about section, when you're creating any piece of content, when you're creating any newsletter or email blast or anything, there's a structure to follow. It's a 3-piece structure. And Dai has all three pieces here in his about section. The first piece is the hook. Stop them in their tracks, cause them to be curious, want to know more, and they have to click the see more. Okay, that's step number one. Number two is story. Hook, story. Tell your story. Tell us, your ideal client, all about you and your own personal journey, where you were before you got the specific result that your signature program or service will help them to achieve in their life. Talk about where you were, even all the way back at the beginning of your journey. Talk about the steps you took in order to get where you are now, and tell that story in your about section. And at the very end, so far we've got the hook, we've got the story. At the very end, you're going to give what's called a call to action. This is telling the person reading, who was mostly going to be your ideal client, it's telling the person reading what you want them to do next. So great. They read the hook. They clicked see more. They read your story. They're feeling good. They're feeling inspired. They're feeling like they relate to you. And what Dai says is, if you would like to talk to me about how you can have your fit parent bod and get back to that feeling of when you had it all, that's the result, guys. He puts his result everywhere. Then send me a message on LinkedIn. So if I was his ideal client and I'm a dad and it's like, dude, I want to be fit. I want to look good. I want to feel like I have it all. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to click message. And boom, Dai pops up. Now I can send Dai a message. Hey, Dai, I was very inspired by your story. I'd love to talk to you and connect and learn more about you. Now, please understand, people aren't going to message you most of the time unless you've been establishing your brand now for at least 6 months to a year. People aren't likely to message you saying, I want to buy your product. I want to buy your service. That will happen. That's called an inbound lead, and it's inevitable. It will happen if you follow this process in due time. But what people will do is they'll message you asking to learn more about you, wanting to connect with you. And that is your opportunity to have a conversation, jump on a phone call or a Zoom call or whatever program software you want to use and learn about that person at a much deeper level and determine, can I help this person? And if you can, that's when you would move on to the next part, which is tomorrow, which is how to actually sell and enroll clients for your service, your product, or your vision. So let's move down here. We've talked about everything so far, except we've got your featured section. Now, when someone looks at your profile for the first time, they're going to go down to your featured section because this is your showcase. This is your museum of modern art. Okay, this is your favorite pieces of content. These are the pieces of content that tell your story. Like, let's take a look at what Di has here, right? The first one is a post that he made a month ago. And this post was actually talking about his Merge 60 program that he actually just created and launched. And it's actually him on a podcast, I believe, talking about that. So that's the first piece. The second one is he actually did a comedy show a month ago. It was more than a month ago, but he posted about it a month ago, telling more about his story on the stand-up comedy journey that he took. And then the third post is more about him, right? Do you believe that getting older is synonymous with the body slowing down and suffering from aches and pains? Notice that he's featured his best pieces of content. And look how good he looks, by the way. He's freaking ripped. He's showing that he's got the result that other people want. He's featured his TEDx talk. Okay. Everything on his profile is results based, is telling his story, and is showing you, not telling you, showing you what he can help you to achieve. So that's the featured section. And, you can do that on Instagram. You can have highlights. You can do that on Facebook. There's actually a featured section there. You can do this on YouTube, the first video that pops up in the channel. And you can absolutely do it on LinkedIn, which is what we're looking at now. And then you scroll down more and you've got the person's activity, right? This is all their recent activity. And you should be recent and up to date on LinkedIn, at least every day, engaging with someone's post, commenting on it, creating a post yourself. But one common myth that we have to bust immediately is the myth that you have to post every single day on LinkedIn or social media in order to get results. Guys, I have people who have simply only optimized their profile and did what I'm going to advise you do at the very end of this training here, which is your content strategy. I have people who just have 5 pieces of content on their social media profile who are enrolling clients left and right and making thousands of dollars each month in their coaching in their service provider business. And they're not posting every single day on social media. They're serving their clients. They're creating products. All you need to do is optimize your profile once. And the more active you are, then the more conversations you can have. But optimizing the profile is step number 1. So this is your activity. And then we have your experience. All right. Now, the experience, a lot of people think that they have to use LinkedIn as literally a resume. Not the case. Your experience should tell your story from the very first place you were. Look at this. Di has 15 experiences. So let's go all the way down. Look at all of these. All the way down. You can literally see where he worked in 2004, 20 years ago. And for each position, he literally wrote his responsibilities or a quick story about his role that he played there. Fascinating. So you can literally see his journey from where he was to where he is now in the experience section. So I'd advise you put every experience, and in your experience section, tie back that job or company experience to what it is you do now, to what it is you offer your clients and the result that you get them. Tie it back to that. And then we have education, which you can include. We have your skills. You should always have your most relevant skills listed on your profile. And then the last piece here is recommendations. You can see all the people who've recommended Di, such as his past clients, the people he's worked with at different companies, people who he did a service for. You can see all the recommendations that he has. He has 50 recommendations. And then we go to given, and you can see how many recommendations he's given with people or for people. So generally, the more recommendations that you give, the more recommendations you're going to receive. You've got to give to receive. But the point here, by looking at Di's profile, and what I impress upon you is look at this. Look at how well optimized it is for the result that he's getting for his clients and for the people visiting his page. And ask yourself, what elements of this can I include in my social media profile, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, or what we're using right now, which is LinkedIn. So this is an example of a great social media profile. And now what I want to show you is a social media profile that is not so great. And we're going to talk about why it's not so great and why it might be, and not might be, why it is impacting the success that this individual is seeing with their coaching business. Now, this person, I don't know Amy. I'm sure Amy is a great person. And I just want to be very clear, by me going through this profile and critiquing it and giving feedback, I am in no way bashing this individual. I don't know this individual. She looks very kind. Okay. So let's take a look at the difference between this individual and Di and the difference in their profile, because I think it's very important to say this person may be as skilled as the last profile we looked at. This person might actually do a better job at coaching than the last person we looked at. But whose profile are you immediately gravitating towards already? Di's profile. Because you go to this one, and it looks like she used a banner photo from a different profile, because you can see it gets cut off here. The text is cut off behind her picture. So you can't even see what the text says unless you click on the picture, and not every person's going to do that. So what this is, behind every successful woman is herself. Awesome. So you can already kind of tell that women is part of Amy's ideal client. But again, like, there's a lot of women in the world. You still have to dive deep into who it is you're helping. Like, Di is helping dads who have children who are out of shape mentally or physically. So far, we just see that she helps women. Okay. Let's go down here. Her tagline, and by the way, her profile picture is great. Great profile picture. It's very inviting. It's very warm. Awesome. Her tagline, though, certified life coach. One thing that's really important here is no one cares that you're certified. No one cares that you're a life coach. And I'm sorry if this comes off as blunt or unkind. No one cares that you are a certified life coach. I am not certified as a coach, and I earn a great income monthly from coaching clients. Okay, because it's not that I'm certified, it's that I get results for my client. And I'm not saying don't go get certified. I think that if you're new to coaching, yeah, go through a course, get certified, learn how to coach. That's awesome. I grew up in the corporate world, the corporate sales and training world. So I learned how to coach by doing that, but I've also learned how to coach by actually coaching and doing it. And a lot of people spend a lot of time learning and becoming certified, but not actually doing the thing that they're being certified to do. It's like how people get a college degree, but never use the college degree, right? And I'm in that boat. I have an associate's in I don't even freaking remember what the associate's is in. I think it's in political science, but I have an associate's degree and I don't use it, right? I literally work with coaches and service providers to enroll clients and create the lifestyle that they want. I don't use my degree, right? So again, no one cares about whether you're certified or not. What people want to see in this tagline is they want to see what you're going to do for them. People are only thinking about one thing when they go to your profile. They want to know, and they are asking themselves, what is in it for me? With them. What's in it for me? They're not wondering if you're certified. Okay, they have a problem that they need solved, and they're coming here because they hope that you can solve their problem. And then we go down here. Her creator mode tags, life coach, again, no one cares. Empowerment, awesome. Dream manager, awesome. So now she's actually talking more about who she's targeting. So I'm assuming now, just assuming, that she's targeting women to help them become dream managers, and it looks like she's a wellness coach too. Maybe she's helping them to become great at managing and in their health. And motivational speaker. Everyone's a motivational speaker. We've all said something that's motivated someone before. So again, motivational speaker, I'd probably remove that. Okay. Now let's go down. Her about section. Now I'm just going to go back to Di's about section here. We'll click see more. Look at Di's and look at this. Okay. Now, I don't even have an option to click see more because there's nothing written here. There's 3 lines, 2 lines, two and 1/4 lines. I'm a dedicated life coach who has earned the reputation as an advocate of change. I don't know what that means. As a reader, I'm not sure what that means. To date, I have helped dozens of people find their place in the business world and ultimately pave the path to personal and financial prosperity. So again, it's very vague how this individual helps people. I've helped people find, and again, I just want to be very clear. I'm sorry if this comes off as harsh, but I want to give you actual feedback and advice that you can apply to yours so you can avoid these same mistakes. While this may repel some people who's like, Brandon, you should be nicer, I'm more doing this for the people who are like, I want to make my profile rock solid so that I can create the life that I want to live and serve the people I want to serve. So when you say I've helped dozens of people find their place in the business world, why not put like little arrows and showing maybe actual results that you've gotten people? Like helped Susie get promoted, helped Lauren release over 30 pounds and prosper in her business career. Like, how are you helping people find their place in the business world? Be very specific about the results that you're getting for people and pave the path to personal and financial prosperity. What's prosperity, right? So you have all this room. Don't just use a little bit, use all of it. And in this individual's defense, I guarantee LinkedIn is not her profile of choice. I guarantee she doesn't really spend any time on LinkedIn. But what I do see is she was active on LinkedIn a month ago because I only looked for people who've been active for 30 days or less, meaning they're on the platform. So if you're not optimizing your profile, then why are you posting content? Okay, so let's go to her content. We're not going to look at the content itself because we could make a completely separate video on content, and we will eventually. But the last time she was active was a month ago. And I don't even think she has a featured section. Yeah, so nothing's featured. So I would actually have to click see all activity here to see all the posts that she wants us to see. Show people what you want them to see. Show people the things that will put you in the specific light that you want to be seen in. Not to be manipulative, not to throw shade over anyone's eyes or anything like that, but to highlight yourself as the solution to the problem that your ideal client is facing. Experience, certified life coach. Again, you know, it's great that you're certified. I hope that you learned a lot from the certification. Your ideal client they don't care though. And then we see that she's a realtor, right? So why not go back to the about section and write about how your journey as a realtor has been, how your journey has been, what you've applied from your own coaching practice into your own career. Tell your story and really hook us in that first sentence. Skills. Okay, skills looks great, right? Again, life coaching, wellness coaching, communication. Awesome. No recommendations or anything like that. It's probably because she's a new LinkedIn profile. And I hope that you're watching this, Amy, because, you know, if you apply, you've got a great look, you've got a great vibe. Okay, let's optimize this profile so people know exactly what you do, how you help them, and let's start having some conversations to enroll some clients. All right. Now I'm going to look at the comments, see if anyone's commenting. Okay, cool. By the way, leave a comment for me. Let me know, like, what are you going to apply to your own profile, whether it's on LinkedIn or another profile? And what are you going to take from this so far? What have you already taken away? Because I want to show you now, the next profile I want to show you is someone who is 85% there. She's got the vibe. She's got the emotion. She's just missing a couple very important things that could be starting more conversations for her and enrolling more paying clients. And that individual is a new friend of mine who I already consider a dear friend because she's freaking awesome. And I love her content and I love everything that she's doing. She's actually bigger on LinkedIn than I am, which is so cool. And she's just crushing the game. Her name is Jennifer Alexandria. She goes by Coach J. And okay, so let's talk about this profile, okay? Now, what vibe do you get? Peaceful, right? I'm getting nature vibes from the banner image. And look she did something different. She has no text in her banner image. That's okay, right? It gives a vibe. You don't have to have text there. Do your own thing, right? But make sure it looks neat and make sure it looks clean. And hers does. We go to her profile and look at this. She's got a video. And then she's got a profile picture, right? But look at that. You literally get like a taste of who she is, what she's all about. She's got a profile video. Awesome, right? You don't have to do that, but it just gives people a glimpse of who you are. And let me tell you, people will be clicking on that profile video if the platform of your choice gives you that as an option. Now, this is one area that I would recommend changing. Certified Abundance Life Coach. Okay, cool. So you can find abundance in any area of life, in your finances, in your wellness, in your emotions, in your relationships, in your spirituality. So specifically, what area of life do you help people to create more abundance in? If it's every area of life, then keep in mind of your ideal client again. When you are serving everybody, or when you are helping someone with everything, you are in effect helping them with nothing. Okay. It's one thing to make people feel good. It's another to get them a specific result. This is why a lot of people will go to a business seminar or a personal development seminar and they'll feel pumped up, but they create no lasting change because you've changed their emotional state, but then they go back to their emotional state they were in before. Okay. What result do you actually get for people? Your headline should have your specific result. Going back to Di's page as an example, helping you to get out of your own way to start engineering the life that you want. An easy way to write this is I help this type of person, your ideal client, to get this result, the result that you offer, by following this process, your signature offer. Okay. I help dads to accomplish physical vitality, right? I'm literally just taking Di's, but butchering it by following the Merge 60 program or whatever your program is. Let people know in your headline what result you get for them and what result they'll get if they follow your content. I love your tags, Jennifer. Abundance, gratitude, love and joy, grateful heart, and abundance mindset. It's very clear what you talk about. I love it. Let's go down. Her about section. Okay, so let's talk about this. I am here to help you open up to the radiance within you in order to receive the many gifts of abundance available to you. Okay, I love this so far because it's all about the other person. It's like you're talking to me. It's like you're talking to your ideal client. Delivers with integrity. Now, this is, I don't know what that means. All right. Now, again, you want to be sure that this is enticing enough for somebody to click the see more. I do personally think I'm enticed to click see more. I definitely want to see more. But then I click see more, and there's only a couple things here. Okay. Driven by your success, dedicated to your needs. That's great. What I get from this is you are all for your client. You want to help your client. But my big question again is two questions. Number one, who are you? Okay, my buddy Joseph Gonzalez might be watching. Who are you? Right? What's your story? What journey have you gone on? What hardships have you faced? What accomplishments have you achieved? Tell your story here. And the second question is, how can you help me? Dedicated to your needs. Okay, cool. What needs are you dedicated to? Specifically, how will your program and your services and your coaching, what result, RESULT, what result will you get from me? And spell that out. Use your about section. Go ham on your about section. And then we go to featured. Now, she has an incredible Thrive Live podcast and show that is just awesome. And I highly recommend you follow Jennifer and check out her show because it's amazing. And I absolutely love it. My only recommendation for your featured section, Jennifer, is your show is incredible. I would have your show here just like you do, but I would have one featured thing here, one featured blurb that gives people an option to have a conversation with you so that you can enroll them as a client. Because something that you should have at the end of your about section is, again, your call to action. Hook, story, call to action. How people should get in touch with you. What people should do next. Your call to action could be right here in your featured section. They don't even have to send you a message. You can have a Calendly link. You can have an Acuity link. You can have a Google form, like whatever you want them to do next in order to start that next step towards creating a client or building a relationship. you should put in your about section and your featured section to make it easy for people to get in touch with you. And Jennifer's active every day. So she's got activity every single day. She's got such great engagement. Like Jennifer, you have a 6-figure business right here already. Like in these 70 people who've engaged with this last post, if you message them individually and say, thank you so much for engaging with my recent post on abundance, I would love to know, what was it that you took away from this that inspired you to engage? I'm curious. If you sent that to all 71 of these people, you might have 35 or actually probably like 50 people reply to you. It might lead to 20 really good conversations. And that itself could lead to a high ticket client right there, maybe 2 high ticket clients. But that's where knowing the result you get for people comes into play. So Jennifer, you've got the entire foundation. And again, I don't know all the details of your business and how you're doing. You might already be 6 figures with your business. That might not even be your goal. I don't know. But it's here if that's ever something that you wanted to tap into. Then we see Jennifer's experience. All right, look at this. It looks beautiful. It looks awesome. I might even add a little bit more into each of these and talk about how being a massage therapist relates to what it is you do today, how that has led you to this, how being a mortgage loan processor has led you to what you do, how being an administrative assistant back in the late 90s has helped you to do what you do today. It all is connected. It all relates to each other. We see her certification. We see all the ways that she volunteers, and we see her skills. And I'm going to endorse you, Jennifer, because you have earned it. And we see her recommendation. She's received 8 and she's given a few. I recommend give a few more. Give a few more. And then if you're up for it, request some from your clients, the people who've gone through your beta program that you've mentioned. Request a few more recommendations. You can't have enough recommendations. Okay. Not everyone's going to look at them, but some people will. So again, I'm going to stop my share here because that was the main thing I wanted to show you with that. And I ask you now, based on seeing a successful profile, a profile that I'm assuming is not as successful, and a profile that is 90% of the way there, and you can only tweak a few things to get even more exponential results, what are you going to tweak with your own social media profile? Because the final thing that I want to talk to you about is an actual content strategy for this new optimized profile that you've just created. Okay. And I'm not going to go into like post every day, your content should look like this. That's going to be a separate video. I just want to spend like 3 minutes with you to show you how you can literally have 5 pieces of content and enroll several clients a month, high ticket clients who are paying you $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, maybe even more for the services and the result that you're offering people. Because when it comes to a content strategy, I took this from somebody named Evan Carmichael, and you've probably heard of Evan. He has a book called Built to Serve. It's on my bookshelf over here. It's an incredible book. I recommend you pick it up. And the content strategy, I'm going to call this your starter pack. With your content, you only need to have 5 key pieces of content in order to tell your story, show your ideal client the process that you're going to guide them through, and then give them testimonials of people you've worked with. Show them case studies of people that you've actually helped get that specific result. Because with your content, the first thing you should be doing is telling your story on your social media profile. Create a video, maybe like this. It doesn't have to be production quality. You don't even need a microphone. You can literally grab your phone, hit record, tell your story of who you were before you've accomplished this result in your life. Talk about the journey you took to get to the result, and then tell people where you are now. That can be content piece number 1. For the second piece, share more about the specific process that you followed in order to create the change and the transformation that you have in your life right now. This is you describing your signature system to your clients. And one thing that I'd like to say and advise and recommend is don't be afraid to give everything away. Don't be afraid to give it all away. because I give everything away. Like right now, this is something that I would actually go through with a client and help them to optimize, and it would be personalized to them. It's just one piece of many, but I just did this here on a live video for you, and you'll get just as much of a result from this as you would if you actually worked with me. The only difference is I'd be able to tailor it to you. I'd be able to go personally with you and go deeper with you. That's the difference. Don't be afraid to give everything away, because you'll still have 1 out of 40 people who watch this will message you and they'll say, hey, can you do this for me? I'm willing to pay. It's that simple, right? So give away everything. Share your process. Give step 1, step 2, step 3, and then create 3 separate videos outlining each specific step of the process and how to get the best result possible in that. So video number 1, or post or blog or audio, whatever it is, share your story. Post number 2, share the process and the journey you went on to get to where you are now. Video number 3, step number 1 of the process. Video number 4, step number 2. Video number 5, step number 3. And then you can have 3 more videos once you've actually gotten results for some clients. Even if you've worked with them for free, share their results. Hell, hop on a Zoom call with them and ask them, hey, Joe, hey, Karen, hey, Sharon, what result did you get from the time that we spent together? Where were you when we started working together? Where are you now? What steps did you take? How are you feeling? And they're going to be like, oh my God, like, you've helped me so much. This is what you helped me realize. And this is going to help you dial in on your process to coach people better than any certification, because you're actually doing it and getting results. This is going to help you become very clear of the clients that you love to work with. And this is going to give you content for your page and show other people who are creeping on your page, because we all do it. It's going to show them how you can actually and tangibly and practically help them. And then you can keep sharing case studies. Now, can you post 3 times a week and share more? Absolutely. But feature those key pieces of content in your featured section, so that when people say, who is this Catherine person that's reaching out to me? They're going to go to Catherine's page and they're going to see what Catherine's all about. And then they're going to respond to Catherine's message and say, hey, I just watched your story. So inspiring. It's really cool how you shared that. It's really cool how you were vulnerable. I actually have faced the same thing in my life. And now Catherine's in a conversation that can lead to a relationship, that can lead to eventually, or maybe sooner than later, a paying client. So I hope you can see how an optimized profile and a very small content strategy, or a starter pack, can help to lead you towards high-ticket clients, can help to lead you towards impacting more people's lives while also paying you at the same time. Because in order to reach more people, in order to help more people, you've got to be earning money in this business. And it is very much a business. A coach who's not getting paid is simply a hobbyist. In order for this to be a business, you must be getting paid. Sales has to be on the top of your mind. It has to be. Because if you're not making sales, you're not running a sustainable and a growing, and you're not building a business. So what I advise you to do is, if you haven't already, go to my featured section on LinkedIn. If you're watching this live on YouTube, then go down into the description, click the link, enter your email. I'm literally going to send you a free copy of the Sell Your Expertise playbook. If you're going through the 5-day challenge, make sure you go to the section on optimizing your profile, fill out the questions that it asks you, and even more importantly, go and optimize your profile right now. Sharon's joining us live. She says, I'm going to race out to my profile and feature some of my articles and add more to my bio. Yes, Sharon. Awesome. Round of applause for you. Very cool. I freaking love it. Catherine says, I've already changed my about section. I'm going to add my referrals next. Sweet. Got to get your playbook. Great content, Brandon. Thank you. Catherine, thank you for joining. I hope you love the playbook. Pretty soon the challenge is going to be launched, and I'll send you any information you need on that. It's a free challenge that just guides you through every single piece of this playbook, but you don't even need that to get started with it and start now. And Sharon, you rock. Thank you so much, Sharon. You rock. And I'm glad that this has been helpful for you. Challenge goers, be sure to fill out your playbook. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk to you more about an opportunity that I have for you to take the principles that we go through in this playbook, because you can go through this in day 5. By the end of tomorrow, you're going to have the process to enroll your first client or your next client. And that's a high ticket client. You're going to have everything that you need. But tomorrow, I'm specifically going to invite you to the Be Better Academy, which is a program that I host. It's a community of coaches who are all building our coaching businesses. We're building our service provider business, and we're reaching more people, and we're all enrolling clients and helping each other. I'll talk to you more about what that opportunity looks like tomorrow. But in the Be Better Academy, we do things like this. We optimize our profiles. We help each other. We choose our ideal client. We start having conversations. We help each other through those enrollment conversations, or you might have heard them called sales conversations. So I'm just planting the seed now. Tomorrow, we'll talk more about the Be Better Academy and the opportunity that is open for you if you choose to accept it. Go optimize your profile. If you're watching this in the challenge, I'll see you tomorrow. If you're watching this live, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was very valuable for you. And until we talk again next time, continue to be better.